What are Chelsea cooking? Over the past three windows, Chelsea Football Club have invested unprecedented amounts of money into their squad. They have done so by innovative and very forward-thinking mechanisms. They have overhauled a complete squad. Now, there are criticisms of it. They bought too much youth and not enough experience. Can they all be gelled together quickly enough for this £1 billion investment to bear fruit, to pay dividends early and not just in the long term? They have signed some phenomenal young talent, some brilliant players, broken transfer records, and much, much more. Now, according here to Fraser Fletcher, he says, whatever happens next, Chelsea's last summer signing is likely to be the story of the summer. Now, Fraser's not a bullshitter. He's not a grifter. He's legit. He said there's a reason they are keen to keep their business under the radar. There is a feeling that Chelsea's maybe internally have been a little bit too loose-lipped with media outlets about certain deals. The Elise one being one of those, which then led to the player signing a new deal. I still think Elise will end up at Chelsea at some point in the future, but that's another conversation. We know Ansu Fati is part of this, but he mentions here that Musiala is amongst the people reported that it could be. Wow. Musiala to Chelsea. Out of nowhere. Now, straight away, 1 minute 40 in, I know what rivals will say. And many Chelsea fans. There's no way this happens. No way, can't see it. Now, I believe about 80% of you are talking from a position of, I don't want it to happen. So therefore, I will just say it's nonsense because it hurts my feelings. There's 20% of you that will genuinely believe there's no chance. And I certainly think it's a crazy push. But Fati joining wouldn't be the story of the summer. Musiala would. Then, on top of this, and I'm just trying to be consistent here with the story, your opinions matter, but the story needs to be discussed. This comes from the Secret Scout. Again, highly credible, accurate. Says, yes, Musiala would consider Chelsea if they went for him. Now, many of you will say Bayern Munich may not accept, but there's always a price. Every footballer on planet Earth is for sale at the right price. Now, who knows what Chelsea are considering doing? If I'd have said to you when Todd Bowley took over, they're going to spend over £1 billion over the next 2 summers, and I told you everything Chelsea were going to do, your response would have been, that's crazy. It's not going to happen. So based on the fact that we know Chelsea have done things that 12 months ago, 13, 14 months ago, really, the football world would have said it's impossible, will not happen, they'll never spend that much. If we know that impossible things happen, because hindsight is that lucrative commodity that tells us this, why is it impossible to sign Musiala? What about it is impossible? Let me know. I need to understand what is impossible. Not what you think will or won't happen, but why is it impossible? That's what I want us to discuss. So if your response is nothing to do with the impossibility of it happening, I don't care about that. Me and Lee Gunner got into a fight about this yesterday. If I ask you a question about impossibility, I don't want an answer about why you think it won't happen, because that doesn't make it an impossibility. So answer the question. I'm intrigued by this. I don't want him to join Chelsea, by the way. He's so good, so talented. Now, there's a lot surrounding Chelsea as well, and I want to move on. This here, according to the Secret Scout, again, highly credible, says that Ferran Torres we know about. Ansu Fati. I don't know if Chelsea fans are buzzing about that. I don't know if they are. I'm not too sure about it. Look at the other 2 names on there. Raphina. Jadon Sancho. It then goes on to say the Blues want to bring back Musiala, but unsurprisingly, Brian are not interested in selling. Of course, they're not interested in selling. Of course, they're not. I understand they're not interested, but money talks and bullshit walks. I don't know where that saying's from. Must be from a film. but it's the truth. What if it's Raphina? Jadon Sancho? Now, again, signing Jadon Sancho would feel like the Cucurella deal. It would feel like the deal we spoke about earlier today with Arsenal looking at Mahalo Mudryk. Players that have kind of flopped since these big moves, but who are hyped and who were brilliant at some point and who are still young. Could Chelsea revitalize him? Could Chelsea get him back to his best? Raphina, I think, is really good. I do. I think he'd kill it at Chelsea. I really do. But Chelsea fans, tell me what you think. Ansu Fati? Story here about it. That he is reconsidering his desire to stay at Barcelona and is now willing to leave. Could he be a player? Very injury prone. Hasn't got to the levels that everybody expected 2 or 3 years ago, predominantly because of those injuries. Is that one Chelsea fans would want? But we go back to that tweet. What Chelsea do is going to be the story of the summer. And of all those names, I don't think Fati is the story of the summer. I don't think Ferran Torres is the story of the summer. Raphina may be. The only 2 names on the list from the Secret Scout, in my opinion, that can be the stories of the summer are Jadon Sancho or Musiala. Chelsea fans, talk to me. Make me understand. I need to understand it. I am intrigued. I'm invested. Now, moving on. Arsenal. Gabriel Magalhaes is set to remain at Arsenal despite interest from Saudi Arabia. That comes from Ryan Taylor. And I think this is significant news for Arsenal fans. It's maybe not as exciting as a done deal. A new player, the excitement that's generated from that. There's been a lot of question marks over his future in the last few weeks. There's another question mark still. Does he start against Manchester United on Sunday? People are desperate for that to be the case, and I understand and agree with why. I think he's integral. There are some mistakes in him. There have been some bozo moments. But overall, him and Saliba as a defensive pairing has been phenomenal for Arsenal and has got room and legs to grow to another standard. So they need time, right? It needs time to blossom and develop further. But him staying is significant. Now, that's come from Ryan Taylor, who is, by my reckoning, a very credible Arsenal journalist. So if he's staying and not leaving, but he doesn't start this weekend, Arsenal fans, talk to me. Are the theories of the Lee Gunners and the Brandons correct? The North Sides, that Gabriel was being sacrificed for the sake of shoehorning Kai Havertz. Is there some injury or attitude issues? Or could it just be while he was linked with this move away and it was being considered by all parties, his mindset wasn't right? What's the reason? I really would love to understand your opinions, your take, your feelings, your emotions, your gut. What did your gut tell you about the situation? Be honest as well. No agendas. Let me know. Now, one team who have gone a little bit quiet in the transfer market recently, barring outgoings, has been Liverpool. Now, Ben Jacobs here has said that Douglas Luiz is a name that has been discussed internally by Liverpool. So I've reached out to a number of other journalists. What have you heard? What have you heard? And there's talk that it may advance. Now, in my personal opinion, Douglas Luiz is better than Doucouré. It's going to cost you a pretty penny to get him out of Villa, especially after a very good pre-season and a good start to the new campaign for Unai Emery's team. It would be a bitter blow to Villa to lose one of their main players now at this stage before the season has really kicked into gear. But Liverpool have got to do something. Liverpool, in my opinion, cannot rest on their laurels. Not on your Nelly can they do that. Not on your Nelly. I've been highly critical of Man United's end to this window. It's petering out and could end up in disaster. We have criticized Chelsea, who have spent money, but maybe not had enough experience. They've been criticized everywhere. I've seen it across multiple social networks. I've seen Arsenal, who I think have had a very good summer overall, criticized maybe for not buying enough still. I see very little for Liverpool. Outside of Liverpool spheres, I see very little condemnation, criticism, concern, worry. It's almost, it's like Voldemort. He who must not be named. We must not speak of this subject. It's interesting to me. Because if Liverpool don't bring a player in of Douglas Luiz's level or higher to control that midfield, this season is going to be a disaster. They beat Newcastle at the weekend and they deserve praise for that, and I did praise them. But let us not forget, when they were at the 11 men on that pitch, they were being chewed apart. The midfield was getting run all over. And the midfield will improve, but they need quality. Endo, in my opinion, is not going to be that guy. He's okay. He's not a star. On the other hand, Liverpool fans, is Douglas Luiz enough? I'd love to ascertain your opinions, your views. Your gut feelings on this. Liverpool fans, tell me what you think. But as ever, smash the like button for me, please, people. Subscribe, turn on those bell notifications as well. So many more of you have done that over the summer, and I cannot tell you how humbling it is. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.